You can't. Hebrews 13 and 5. Look, you got to move. Hebrews 13 and 5. Actually, we'll start at 5. Let your behavior be without covetousness, and be content with such things as you have, for he has said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. So that we may boldly say, the Lord is my helper, I will not fear what man shall do unto me. Remember them which have rule over you, who have spoken unto you the word of God, whose faith follow, considering the end of their behavior. That's what a lot of y'all do not do. You don't actually sit back and remember those that are actually over you, and actually look at their behavior and follow that therein. So you say, whose faith follow. What does that mean to some of y'all when they say whose faith you ought to follow? That mean anything to some of y'all? So let me show y'all something. In Hebrews chapter 12, Numbers chapter 12, about verse 1. Let me show y'all something. You know, some very faithful men in this book that was over the people. And the people actually didn't follow these men. They didn't actually remember them and consider them in the things that they were doing. Numbers 12 by verse 1. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he married an Ethiopian woman. And he said, have y'all indeed spoken only by Moses? Have he not spoken also by us? And y'all heard it. This is what he said now. Now Moses was very meek above all the men which are upon the face of the earth. Now we know Moses was above the people.
Yeah.
He was a ruler over the people. Well, let's look and see. I think it's Deuteronomy 33. We good with number chapter 12 because we're not actually getting into what happened with what his brother and his sister did. What we did back is he said, remember those that have rule over you. It said that Moses was the meekest man upon the face of the earth. That means he was humble.
Yeah.
No, Deuteronomy 33 and 3. See, just bear with me. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to it. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Deuteronomy 33 and 3. Yea, he loved the people. All his saints are in thy hand. And they sat down at thy feet. Every one shall receive of thy word. I'm going to ask anybody who remembers what this means. Just because it's standing out to me right now. Who remembers what this could mean and what this could go to? We just looked at it on New Moon. Who remembers what this could mean and what this talking about? Well, everybody answer at one time now. This there just said, yea, he loved the people. All the saints are in thy hand. They sat down at thy feet. Every one shall receive of thy words. Come on now. Talk to me now. Well, let's look at it. John chapter 10. He said, all thy saints are in his hand. You got to sit back and remember, saints sanctified one. What y'all see what prayed for in John chapter 17? He said, man, sanctify them with thy truth. Thy word is truth, and I sanctified myself by the truth, that they might sanctify themselves by the truth. That means they were a saint. That's what saint means, sanctified one. See, y'all are aspiring to become saints, but you have not sanctified yourself. The first thing you hadn't did is you hadn't changed your mind. Your mind is still carnal. You actually don't look at those who are in front of you. So when you actually don't look at those who are in front of you and who got rule over you, it really means you really hate God. See, that's what y'all want to sit back and look at. How many of y'all gonna be bold enough right now tonight and say, you know what? I hate y'all.
No.
Just gonna be dead real and just tell the truth and say, you know what, God, I hate you. You know what I'm saying? And you be like, I don't hate God. Your behavior show that you hate the man. Because you don't do what he tells you to do. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta get off that emotional stuff that you think everything is based off of feeling and the words you say out your mouth. See, some of y'all talk a real good one, but your game is raggedy. I'm talking about niggas see straight through it. See it coming 300 miles away. You ain't fooling nobody. John chapter 10 verse 25. After that, James chapter 1 verse 21. Since I said you ain't fooling nobody. Yahshua answered them, I told you, and you believe not. The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. But you believe not, because you're not of my sheep, as I said unto you. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me, and I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. My Father which gave them me is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hands. I and my Father are one. So this man just sat back and said, if you sanctified by the word, nobody could be able to pluck you out of this man's hands. So you had to sit back and look at it. When we in the hand of God, that means our mind is changed. Because see something the writer of Hebrews said. He said, he that sanctified and he that is sanctified all are one. For which cause he's not ashamed to call them brethren. That's why we have to sit back and look at it. He that is joined to the Lord is one spirit. I'm mentioning all this stuff for a reason. Because it's going to lead to something that we're going to deal with, Lord will, as the week progresses. Now, if we're going to sit back and we're going to be joined to God, and we're supposed to remember the faith of those who have rule over us, and to remember the end of their behavior, then we would have to consider exactly what we doing. Is you your own God, or you feel like, oh, I ain't got to listen to this nigga, I ain't got to follow this nigga, I ain't got to do this here, I ain't got to do that there. But if you gonna be saved, you gonna have to do it. See, you've been leading yourself your entire life, and you've been wrong every time. If you're gonna be a sheep gotta have a shepherd, because the shepherd the one lead the sheep. But how you gonna say you a sheep and you got a shepherd, but you leading yourself? That means you's a nigga. You don't want to be that. Hold on, son. This something come to my mind. James chapter 1, verse 21. You get online. Lord, he'll work out how you see fit. I thank the Lord. That's what y'all gonna sit back and look at. You're not laying aside this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I get on my old lady hard. Because she do something wrong, she'll come up and she has the desire to want to explain herself. You know what I'm saying? And I really have no desire to hear your explanation, because there's nothing that you can say that's going to really make the situation any different. That you wrong. You wrong. You know what I'm saying? Any of y'all ever had somebody try to give you a reason or a rationale of why they did something, and you really didn't care to hear it? Well, how you think my mind operates if I know you trying to sell me something, nigga? I don't want to hear it. Okay, you can explain to me why you thought that way or why you did it. It ain't gonna change the fact you wrong. I really didn't need to know it. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the knock on her. But a lot of y'all do it. That's a sign of spiritual immaturity. You know what else some of y'all can show me that you spiritually immature? This ain't something necessarily that she do. But y'all niggas get yourself in a lot of junk. And you do a lot of stuff you ain't got no business. And you be scared to come tell me about it, because you don't want to get reprimanded. So you sit there and you stew in your poop. And next thing you know, you end up with a very mean back rash. And then you ain't gonna have no choice but to say something. When it's just that absurd, go ahead and take your rebuke, keep it moving. Chastening is good. He said you blessed when you chasten by the word of y'all. But see, y'all don't want to be blessed. See, you damn then. You actually damn then. Because you don't want the chastening and the rebuke. Or you want to pick and choose what you want to be chastened on and rebuke. See, I'll tell him I did this here, but I ain't going to tell him this right here. I'll tell him this here, but I ain't going to tell him this right here. Because you don't want to take that. A lot of y'all ain't never, especially probably a lot of y'all women, a lot of y'all ain't never had nobody tell you about yourself. A lot of y'all ain't never had nobody straighten you. So you don't know how it is, and you don't like it, and you don't want it. You know what I'm saying? I frankly don't care. I can't say the words that old movie with that white dude when he looked at that told her, he said, frankly, my dear, I don't. That's how I feel. Frankly, my dear, I don't care. Straight up. James 1:21. Wherefore, lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your soul. You know what I mean when son is engrafted? Y'all know what that means? Y'all know what that means? And dead. So you know what else that means? That would mean something that be brought, that's something that would be joined together. See, come over here to Ezekiel chapter 36 and about verse 1. About laying aside the superfluity of naughtiness. Look at something real fast. This still a tie into something we looked at last week. I thank the Lord. Ezekiel 36 and 1. Then wrought Bezalel and Elohab, and every wise-hearted man in whom Yah put wisdom and understanding to know how to work all manner of work for the service of the sanctuary, according to all Yah had commanded. Now we look at verse 1. We still holding Deuteronomy 33, James chapter 1, and now we in Exodus 36. James chapter 1 verse 21, Deuteronomy 33 verse 3. What y'all think this means about Yah had wrought with these very wise-hearted men, and he put wisdom and understanding to know how to work all manner of work for the service of the sanctuary? What y'all think that would mean? Nobody knows. Ephesians chapter 4 verse 6. Go ahead. I need to go ahead. See how you say he put wisdom and understanding, and it's something else that's coming to my mind. I'm gonna get around that in a minute. But go to Ephesians chapter 4 verse 6. After that, go to 1 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 1. Make it 7. Ephesians 4 and 7. Y'all all right. Y'all dead tonight, son. I'm not telling you something, stankers. Your mama here now, you don't want to come over here. I'll see how you feel. But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of the Messiah. Wherefore he said, when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men. Now that he ascended, what is that? What is it? But he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth. He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill all things. He gave some apostles, some prophets, some evangelists, some pastors, and teachers, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of the Messiah, till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of the Messiah. Now, when you're sitting here, some of y'all coming in and dealing with what we dealing with, see, we done moved on to perfection. That's why a lot of times y'all be missing stuff, and that's why y'all don't be knowing certain things. That's why I tell y'all to go back and look at these videos, because I'm not going backwards. I'm not going backwards. That's something that I'm not going to do when the information is there. If the Lord put it in my mind to bring something back up and y'all remember it, then that will be done. But it's 3 channels worth of information. I ain't got no time to be going backwards. But now that we done read that, as you see, it said that Yah put into each man knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And you know what understanding is, right? That's the Son of God has come, that we may dwell in him that is true, and that we may, and he is in us that is true. Even his son, Yahshua the Messiah, this is the true God and eternal life. Wisdom is the fear of God. Now we're going to read 1 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 1, but I'm going to ask y'all a question. Out of offices that were just mentioned, which one of y'all know what office that I pertain to? Anybody else? I can be that too. I don't do much traveling though. Anybody else? That would be a pastor. I don't qualify to be a pastor. Anybody know why I don't qualify to be a pastor? Because I'm not married. See, I couldn't actually take that title because I don't qualify for that job. Anybody remember what an apostle is? An apostle is not a disciple, because anybody can be a disciple. One that's taught by God directly by revelation. Paul let that be known in Galatians chapter 1, starting at about verse 10. That's one of the things we done went over Brother Bill, but I don't believe it's on tape. Or if it is on tape, I don't remember what video it's on. But an apostle is somebody who, Moses is an example of one. When he told him, I'll be to you a God, and Aaron will be to you a prophet. So you would look at Aaron in Exodus chapter 4, and for all intents and purposes, he would be an apostle, because he said, Moses would be God, I'm going to teach him, and he won't teach you. But then also Yah was teaching Moses directly, which would make him one. Well, to see the framework of it, because no man taught Moses anything. When it came to the way of Yah, Yah taught him. So when you turn back and see Yahshua come around, who taught him the way of Yah? No man taught him that. Let's look at 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 1. That's the office, and you can say teacher as well, but that's the office that I would qualify for as apostle, a teacher, or a minister, because I'm unmarried. I'm not married. So I couldn't be no pastor. 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 1. Listen to what he says. Let a man so account of us as ministers of the Messiah and stewards of the mysteries of God. Moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful. Didn't we just read in Matthew 25 not too long ago about those men he left a talent to, and one was found not to have increased that talent? Remember what he told? He said, if you've been faithful over little, you'll be faithful over much, because I left you over something. So I want you to look in Hebrew chapter 5 real fast. Hebrew chapter 5. We come back to Exodus 36. Hebrew chapter 5 and about verse 8. See, a lot of y'all want the Ruach HaKodesh, but in order for you to get it, you got to be found faithful. And some of you niggas are not faithful. I just put that picture up there earlier today, even though it was mentioning weightlifting. Weightlifting was not the reason why I put it. If you want respect, be consistent. See, if you faithful, that means you consistent. Some of you niggas ain't consistent. You want to convince. Some of y'all have a very inflated sense of self-worth in your service to God when you know it's raggedy. This man had already hit on y'all numerous times about stop trying to gravitate and craft an image to get honor from men, and rather just get honor that comes directly from him. You know what I'm saying? See, when you actually do that, we're in Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 8. See, y'all understand something. If you want to get these things, that superfluity of naughtiness, that pride, that sin, that carnal mind, that fleshly movements, all the stuff of the world, you got to put that stuff to the side. Because it can't be a part of the work of the sanctuary. See, we are being a spiritual house, lively stones, built upon the apostles to make spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God by Yahshua HaMashiach. Y'all sit back and look at it. What spiritual sacrifices are you making to this man? Are you bringing Cain sacrifices, or are you bringing Abel sacrifices? What you bringing? Hebrews 5 and 8. Though he were a son, yet he learned obedience by the things which he suffered. And being made perfect, he became the author of eternal salvation unto all them that obey him. Because Peter told the people in Jerusalem that the Ruach HaKodesh is witness, which God has given to them that obey him. You wondering why you can't get it is because you don't obey. So I'm going to tell you something. And we're going to sit back and look at it too. Thank the Lord. He ain't going to let me forget it. See, some of y'all keep certain stuff in the law, but your heart is not perfect with God. That's what y'all be missing. Your heart's not perfect with God. You think, I keep the Sabbath, and you niggas barely do that. Because look at, y'all don't even know, right? Coming real soon, Lord willing, rather sooner than later. That website will be up. Anybody remember when I told you what's going to happen when that website get up? Anybody remember what I said what happened when that website get up? For any member of the congregation, any member of the congregation ain't no more getting on Facebook on the Sabbath, no Instagram, no nothing. Some of you niggas sit back on the Sabbath, and all I do is to get on there just to see what you niggas gonna put up there. You niggas put up some of the most asinine stuff, period. Why are you even thinking about that stuff on the Lord's Day? You got 6 days to fool with that stuff. Show where your heart at. It show where your heart at. A lot of y'all look at the Sabbath, it's just another day, you just hear the word on it. It's not really a day you sanctify it. That's how I know you don't rest in the Sabbath, period. Y'all already been taught it's bigger than just one day. Yahshua actually your Sabbath. And you're supposed to be resting from your labors on the Sabbath because you're supposed to be resting from committing sin. Why have you not done it? Why have you not done it? Why have you not done it? I told you the only reason why it's still, that ordinance ain't been enforced quite yet because I put them videos up there on the Sabbath. But once that website is good and we work it out to get them videos up on there, ain't no need. Ain't no need. That means nothing. No, you ain't got no business playing no phone, no games on your phone, not playing cards, not watching TV, not watching no movie, not lifting no weights, not going to play no basketball. You ain't got no business playing big wicks, Uno, none of that type of stuff. You got 6 days to do all that. You niggas act like you can't hold off for something for 24 hours. It drives you crazy. If some of you niggas couldn't be on Facebook for 24 hours, you might shoot yourself. Straight up. Y'all don't even know order might come down. Just cancel all that. Everybody get off. Some of y'all wouldn't even know how to act. Because some of that stuff take up too much of y'all time and attention. Some of y'all post too much information on that stuff that don't nobody even need to know, and to be told probably don't even care. So when you sit back and look at it, come back to Exodus 36. We still hold in James chapter 1 and Deuteronomy 33. So that's what he means about he calls men to have knowledge and wisdom. Or wisdom and understanding on the ministering of the sanctuary. To be able to build it up. He had to find some men that he selected, that he chose to preach the word, to build the house, to do the work of the service. That's why he say a steward got to be found faithful. Holding the mysteries of God and the Messiah, you got to be faithful. Look at verse 2 though. He said, the key thing is what he said, they had understanding and know how to work all manner of work for the service. They're still going back to look at them that have rule over you and look at their faith and consider the end of their behavior. Look at them that's over you. He said, Moses called Bezalel and Elohab and every wise-hearted man in whose heart Yah had put wisdom, every one whose heart stirred him up to come into the work to do it. And they received of Moses all the offering which the children of Israel had brought for the work of the service of the sanctuary, to make it withal. And they brought yet unto him free will offerings every morning. You see what he said? They came to bring offerings for the work of the service of the sanctuary. Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 1. I mean Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. Pardon me. Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. Here we go. And I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the living God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, kodesh, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. So this man just said that the people receive all the offering to do the work of the service, to make withal, and they brought yet unto him free offerings every morning. When we sit back and look at the book, say that you ought to do this with a ready mind and a willing heart. You should do this freely out of your own heart. You should be doing this because this is what you actually want to do. You're not doing it because somebody else doing it. You're not doing it to keep a husband. You're not doing it to keep a girlfriend. You're not doing it to keep a wife. You're not doing it to keep a husband. You're not doing it to keep a boyfriend. You're not doing it to please your family. You're doing it because this is your earnest desire. This is what you want to do. Because then you will bring that free will offering, which would be yourself, because you will present yourself as a living sacrifice to this man. You will offer yourself freely and willingly. See, hold on, 1 Corinthians chapter 9. The Lord worketh as he sees fit. I thank the Lord. I thank the Lord. See, a lot of y'all, this is what I mean. This is how I can tell. This is simple stuff. This is how I can tell that it's a lot of stuff y'all want to do. Because when y'all know these feast days coming, you drag. Stop bringing your money for it so you can eat. You know what I'm saying? You drag on Sabbath. You'll drag on Wednesday. You'll drag with the new moon. Anytime something that you got to do and you've been instructed to do, y'all drag or you'll kick and fight. I'm talking about, you know, when I tell y'all something, I can tell when y'all flesh get hit. I can tell by your reaction how you act, facial expressions, tone of voice, body language. I can tell you've been hit in your flesh fighting. I tell my lady all the time, I know it. Hebrews chapter 6 after that. 1 Corinthians chapter 9, about verse 15. Maybe 14. 13 even better. Do you not know that they which minister about Kodesh things live of the things of the temple, and they which wait at the altar are partakers with the altar? Even so hath the Lord ordained that they which preach the gospel should live of the gospel. But I have used none of these things, neither have I written these things, that it should be done so unto me. For it were better for me to die, than any man should make my glory void. For though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of, for necessity is laid upon me. Yea, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel. For if I do this thing willingly, I have a reward. But if against my will, a dispensation of the gospel is committed unto me. Now you see, I hear this man say, if I do this thing willingly, I have a reward. See, if you do this thing willingly, God will give you the reward, which is eternal life. But a lot of y'all do this stuff begrudgingly. A lot of y'all just want to seem righteous for people. That's all you're concerned about. Somebody look at you and say, that's a righteous sister right there. That's a righteous brother. That's all you care about. Or you care about oppressing one another amongst yourselves. That's what you care about. That's all you care about. Actually changing your mind and living according to this word and walking upright, that ain't what you care about. You say it with your mouth. We done already dealt with this before. With your mouth you show much love, but your heart is far from me, for your heart go after your covetous. The man done calls you out for this. Your heart is going after what you lust after. No matter what you saying out your mouth. How long y'all gonna keep thinking y'all can fool this man with just flapping your gums? That's Exodus 36. I don't know why y'all keep trying to fool the man like the man's stupid. Some of y'all done been around, but y'all know I'm talking about some of the stuff y'all do. Y'all know I don't do none of that junk y'all be trying to pull. So you can't. I know you ain't getting it from what I'm showing you. So why do you do it then? Only one reason to come up with it. You're idiotic. And when I say idiotic, meaning that you think you can do the same thing and get something different. That you think that you can sit back and be carnal and be spiritual at the same time. That you content with just hearing word instead of hearing, believing, and applying word. That you think you can make it without putting stuff to the side. Or like I said, you pick and choose what you're going to put to the side. Or you do this one here. You just dig a hole and bury something and you think you got over it. But you know you ain't got over it. It's still there. Verse 4. Basically 36. And all the wise men that wrought all the work of the sanctuary came every man from his work which they made. And they spake unto Moses, saying, the people bring much more than enough for the service of the work which thou commanded to make. Moses gave commandment, and they caused it to be proclaimed throughout the camp, saying, let neither man nor woman make any more work for the offering of the sanctuary. So the people restrained from bringing. For the stuff that they had was sufficient for all the work to make it, and too much. So you know what he just told them people? He said, lay this stuff to the side, because we got enough. Well, haven't you filled up your measure of sin in your lifetime? Ephesians 2:1, because that's what just come in my mind. We'll come back to all this stuff that was made in the house another day, because you know it's the Lord. But today is not the day. We're not dealing with that today. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 1. Now we just holding James chapter 1 and Deuteronomy 33. Because what we're looking at is laying aside the superfluity and naughtiness. You sat back and seen the law. You told the people, restrain. Don't bring no more. Put that stuff to the side. It's more than enough. Well, now you sit back and look at it. You have committed more than enough sin. He's commanding you, put that stuff to the side. Get it away from you. But you don't want to do that. Because you feel like you ain't got enough. It's not sufficient. I need more. Calm down, Lizzie. Ephesians 2:1. And you have he quickened, who were dead in trespasses and sins, where in time past you walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now works in the children of disobedience. And we just sat back and we looked at on the new moon. Well, we looked at how the man went to mention how he made an ordinance with light and day, and how he separated the two. So he separated day from night and light from darkness. We sitting back and we look at that. Now this man said, you once walked like this. You once conducted yourself in this fashion. You once would walk according to the course of the world and according to how Satan tempted you to move, which was already your lustful desires to do in the first place. So you got to sit back and look at it. Why are you continuing to do that? And your desire is to be a new creature. Because you can't have it both ways. When it comes down to it, you have to die. I have said this to y'all so many times. You got to be willing to put yourself to death in order to achieve what you're seeking to acquire. Verse 3, among whom also we all had our behavior in time past in the lust of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, even as others. But God, who is rich in mercy for his great love wherewith he loved us, even when we were dead in sins, have quickened us together with Hamashiach. By grace ye are saved. So the man was able, because of the love that he had towards us. That's what y'all have to remember when you get caught up thinking you ain't worthy. And this, that, there, and the other. This man loved us enough to give his son as a free gift. A free gift to give you access to eternal life, to get your sins remitted. This is the love that Yah had towards us. No man walking this earth is worthy of this man's salvation. That's the whole purpose of grace. Because you know that shows you that you need a Savior. Y'all understand that? That shows you need a Savior. That shows you need deliverance. And you had God merciful and compassionate enough to give it to you when you did nothing to earn it. So you can't get caught up in that, because that's what the enemy is, to get you to quit. So he put on some of you niggas pride. And I'll tell you, a lot of y'all pride come in just because you done got everything you wanted in your life. Nobody ever kept nothing back from you. That's why you don't able to lay stuff to the side. You used to having your own way. You have no discipline. Back to James chapter 1. And I know it's probably some of you men like that, but I know it'd be more so the women be like that, because a lot of y'all just used to people giving you what you want. So you just automatically assume you should get what you want in every situation, rhyme, or circumstance. And when y'all don't get what y'all want, y'all don't know how to act. Because you never had no discipline. You never had nobody tell you, you can't do this, you can't have that. Or you never had anybody who really didn't care about your emotional outbursts. Or who really didn't care that you were upset or sad because you didn't get what you wanted. Some of y'all never had, the men too, some of y'all ain't never had nobody that really straightens you every time you got out of pocket. So when you actually get it, it's a shock to you, because you're not used to that. You're not used to it. You used to doing what you want, getting what you want. And when you don't get that, it's a shock to you. That's why you ain't pushed that to the side. That's why your pride's still there. The Lord got a way of dealing with that, though. And you don't want him to deal with it. It's better for him to deal with it that we try to preach it up out of you than for him to come see you about it. Verse 21 of James chapter 1, epistle of James 1, one more time. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity and naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word which is able to save your soul. See, when he told him to set this stuff to the side, because these men who had the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding was wise-hearted to do the work of the house, the service of the sanctuary. See, now these men can be able to sit down and teach them the word. See, if you can lay this stuff to the side, then the men that have the knowledge of the word can be able to perfect you, which is able to build the house. Colossians chapter 1, verse 25. Listen, get that shoe out your mouth. Thank you. Wherefore I am made a minister according to the dispensation of God, which is given for me to you to fulfill the word of God. Is this not the same thing you heard in Exodus 36? That he gave wise-hearted men the word to be able to do the work. He gave each man his ability, because dispensation just means he got the word for this particular time. You know, the people come up, see, that's the dispensation of the gospel. I got a dispensation of the gospel. He get a word out at a certain time to certain people for certain purposes. It's still going to be the same word. It ain't going to be nothing different. He said, even the mystery which had been hid from ages and from generations, but now is made manifest to his saints, to whom God will make known what is the riches of the glory of the mystery among the Gentiles, which is the Messiah in you, and the hope of glory, whom we preach, warning every man, and teaching every man, in all wisdom, that we may present every man perfect in the Messiah Yahshua, whereunto I also labor, striving according to his working, which worked in me mightily. That man, so Paul just sat back and said the same thing that we just read what Basil and the Lord had. He sat back and said that wisdom he gave me to labor on your heart is mighty. Because it's to perfect this house. As it said, what David said, this house must be exceedingly magnificent. The whole purpose is to make y'all exceedingly magnificent. That means, just sit back and, y'all remember when we looked at that when David said this house got to be exceedingly magnificent. And it don't say magnificent, it says magnificent. Y'all remember when we said that? Y'all remember that? So nobody remember that, huh? It wasn't that long ago. Don't nobody remember that? Well, nevertheless, David told Solomon, he said this house got to be exceedingly magnificent. It's got to be a great structure, a great place to be seen. That's our objective. Like Paul said in Philippians, we're looking to put off our vile body to be made fashioned like his glorious body, because his glorious body is exceedingly magnificent. It's exceedingly magnificent. Now we're seeking to be made exceedingly magnificent. How else we going to do that? But those we gave the wisdom and the understanding to do the work of the service of the sanctuary, to come and do it to perfect you. But you can't be perfected when you don't lay this stuff to the side. Uh-oh. Your baby's going hard. Alright, y'all, it dropped off. But the whole purpose of what we're looking at is we're looking to be made exceedingly magnificent. We're looking to be made like this man's glorious body. Which one of y'all ain't looking for that? Who is not seeking that? Who is seeking that? So when you sit back and you say this is what you're seeking, this is what you're desiring, go on to 1 Chronicles 22 and you can see what I'm talking about. After we look at 1 Chronicles 22, 1 Corinthians chapter 15. Yeah, you done had that toy right there for a long time, man. Yep, 22 and 5. And David said, Solomon, my son, is young and tender, and the house that is to be built for Yah must be exceeding magnificent, of fame and of glory, throughout all countries. I will therefore not make preparation for it. So David prepared abundantly before his death. See, remember, if y'all remember, we dealt with this to show how Yahshua prepared to make the house exceedingly magnificent before his death. And then he was even more prepared on what happened to him before he died. Because remember, we just looked at that on the Sabbath with the spices and the robes. The house had to be magnificent. Come on back. 1 Corinthians 15, maybe about 45. We still going back to James chapter 1. Still going to Deuteronomy 33 and Hebrews 13. And Lizzie. 44. Make it 42. Well, matter of fact, back up about verse 38. But God giveth a body as it hath pleased him, to every seed his own body. All flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men, and another flesh of beasts, and another of fishes, and another of birds. There are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial. But the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another. There is one glory of the sun, another glory of the moon, another glory of the stars. For one star differ from another star in glory. You know what he said? There's a different body. There's celestial and there's terrestrial. Uh-oh, Lizzie. You all right? Y'all know what that means to say celestial and terrestrial? Spiritual and carnal. Fleshly. What did Yahshua tell you in John chapter 3? That which is born of the flesh is flesh. That which is born of the spirit is spirit. Now we were born to be fleshly men through our mother's wombs. But that does not mean that you have to remain that way. We just looked on the new moon how there's one seed and that seed is the Messiah. Oh, hold on, y'all. Lizzie can't stand up straight. Come on, Lizzie. Come on, Lizzie. She keeps sliding like an ice skater. She's getting frustrated. Oh, she was stepping on the pinky there. The pinky stopped her from walking. Y'all sit back, y'all understand that? That which is born of the flesh is flesh. That which is born of the spirit is spirit. They that are in the flesh cannot please God, because the carnal mind is enmity against the law of God. It's not subject to the law of God, neither indeed can be. Therefore, those that are in the flesh cannot please God. Do y'all not understand keeping the Sabbath and not pleasing this man? Not eating no pork chops ain't pleasing this man when you still carnal? Y'all sit back and look at it. We get a lot of $1. We get a lot of heavy stuff. Do you know we could get even heavier stuff, but y'all not able to take it? Y'all can't even bear it? And 43, it is sown in dishonor, it is raised in glory, it is sown in weakness, it is raised in power. It is sown in natural body, it is raised in spiritual body. There's a natural body, and there's a spiritual body. And so it is written, the first man Adam was made a living soul. The last Adam was made a quickening spirit. Howbeit that was not first which is spiritual, but that which is natural, and afterwards that which is spiritual. The first man is of the earth, earthy, the second man is the Lord from heaven. As is the earthly, such are they also that are earthly. And as is the heavenly, such are they also that are heavenly. Ooh, woo. You know what Paul just told you right there? Those that are carnal are going to be carnal. Those that are spirit going to be of the spirit. Which one you going to be? Which one are you going to be? Because you can't be spiritual if you haven't laid aside the superfluity and naughtiness. If you haven't restrained. If you haven't put that stuff back, if you ain't kept it back, how are you going to attain to this? All that stuff I was mentioning to you earlier. How you going to be made spiritual? You gossip. You hard-headed. You want to dress like a $2 slut. You know what I'm talking about? You men don't want to sit back and you sit back and you're disrespectful and you don't want to do what you're supposed to do and you're lying, you're malicious and you lusting and you fornicating and you commit adultery and you always scamming, you always scheming, you jealous, you envious, you don't keep this man covenant, you always trying to find a way to get around what you're supposed to be doing. How can you say you are God when you relish the attention of sinners more than God? You know in Judges he said, why have you joined yourself to the people of the land? Why have you done this? He repeatedly told us to separate ourselves. That's what y'all don't want to do. Y'all don't even want to separate yourself from your own flesh. You don't even want to separate yourself from your own mind. So there's no way to be able to separate from those sinners, but you say you want to be saved. But you say you want the Spirit. But you saying it, but you ain't showing it. I'm telling you something. When it comes to some natural stuff y'all be wanting to do, y'all focus be so laser tight. Ain't got time for this here, man. I gotta get this job. I gotta do this. I ain't gotta do that. But y'all forget, your service of God is your job too. Do y'all not know that's a job? How do you think this job and school work more important than your labor to the Lord? Because that's how you niggas act. It shows in your behavior. It shows in what you do. You put your job and your schoolwork before your service to God. You put that on the back burner. Oh, I didn't watch a video later. You don't apply yourself with the same discipline, passion, and drive that you do to the natural stuff y'all into. I love to live weights. But before he allowed me to live weight, this man, I was applying myself to this word greatly. That's why he say, physical exercise profiteth little. But God has exercise profit a lot. You get the profit of being in good shape and in good health, but that's small compared to being exercised to righteousness to eternal life. You niggas will break your neck to do your homework. You niggas will break your neck on these people's jobs. You niggas will break your neck for everything else. You won't break your neck for God though. Cause it's too much for you. Man, shoot. But I want to be saved though. See, I love God. Nigga, please. Yeah, sure. It's showing your service to him. I just be sitting back watching y'all. And I be like, look at this nigga. Who do you think you fooling? I done told y'all too many times. A lot of y'all think I'm stupid. I'm not stupid now. I'm not stupid now. You can sell them dreams to somebody else. Man, I'm from Duval County, man. You're not gonna sell that stuff to me and think I'm gonna go for it. I'll tell you something. I was just telling my sister this earlier. When I was young, man, I did something I ain't had no business. And I used to try to come to my mama with them excuses and try to explain that stuff. Man, my mama shut that stuff down. Nigga, I don't want to hear that stuff, nigga. Just do what I told you to do, nigga. You were wrong. Nigga, I don't want to hear your explanation. That's why I do y'all like that. I don't want to hear it. You keep that to yourself. Some of the stuff when y'all do stuff y'all ain't got no business and you actually tell me about it, y'all be hoping I'ma stamp it. You be hoping too. Man, don't you never come at me hoping to justify you nigga you already know you were wrong before you open your mouth. Cause I don't know what make you think you gonna get that. Lord have mercy. Huh? So it's a justification for being stupid. I know, because all of us done did it. I done done it. Nigga come up with this. Man, we used to sell dope and come up with all manner of explanation trying to justify what we were doing. Nigga already know they were wrong. Every time a nigga done did something wrong and somebody be like, why you did that, you had to come up with a way to make yourself feel better about it, unless you was just actually telling, this was my thought process when I did it, and it was extremely stupid. But y'all don't do that though. You trying to sell something and hope somebody buy. Man, ain't nobody buying that stuff, man. I'm talking about that spoiled milk, man. Nigga, how many of y'all ever opened up some milk and it was spoiled? What type of face you made? That's the same thing when you come at me with them excuses and explanations. I gotta find, nigga, I want that stuff stunk. I want that stuff. You keep that stuff yourself. James chapter 1 again. We gotta sit back, we trying to get this glory. You trying to get the glory, you just heard about it on New Moon. The glory of children are their fathers. If you won't be born of the word, then Yahshua will be your father. You will be born of heavenly things. His man's desire is to give you his glory, that you may glory in him. See, we can actually come back and then look at that differently and show how we can glory in the Son. That's why Paul said, you won't make my glory in void. He said, he got glory. Let him glory in the Lord. If in order for you to glory in the Lord, you're going to have to start laying this stuff to the side. I mean, what y'all want to do? You don't want to put this stuff to the side. This man is not going to come down and magically do this stuff for you. You're going to have to learn some self-restraint and some discipline. If you niggas can get your butt behind up and discipline yourself and go in these people's jobs and go in these people's schoolhouse, why you can't discipline yourself to obey God's word? What is your excuse for that? Somebody give me the excuse why you can't discipline yourself for that, but you disciplining yourself to natural stuff. Somebody please explain it to me. So the only reason why you couldn't discipline yourself to the obedience of God's word is because you actually don't believe it, then I ain't. That's the only explanation I come up with. James 1:21. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word which is able to save your souls. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word, and not a doer of the word, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he behold himself and go his way, and straightway forget what manner of man he was. That's why y'all be stuck with stuff, because y'all hear the word, you don't do it. So you actually forget. Hey, come on. So y'all actually forget what type of person you are. Because you hear the word. Huh? Yeah. It's to a certain extent, because he described the mentality of certain people. But now he's talking about people, they sit down, they hear the word and don't do it. You know who did that? You know who was to hear the word but not to do it? Who y'all think I'm thinking about right now? Not Saul 1 though. Didn't Eve hear the word? And she didn't do it, did she? And she deceived her own self. He told her, you won't surely die. You already told you were going to die. But it looked good to the test, though. It looked like it made me wise. It's fruit to be desired. I think I'm going to get it. Even Saul did. Saul did directly everything. He wasn't a doer of the work. That's why he told him, we dealt with this in the past. That's why he told him in 1 Samuel 15, obedience is better than sacrifice, because I didn't tell you to bring me nothing about no sacrifice. I told you to do this. So you was a hero of the word. You actually deceived yourself and thought I was going to reward you for disobedience. That's how y'all is. You hear the word, you're not doing it, and you expect to be rewarded for disobedience. 2 Chronicles chapter 25. Listen, watch that stuff up. Nothing wrong with you. 2 Chronicles 25 and 1. It ain't going how the direction I had in my mind to go when we started, but I thank the Lord nonetheless. Y'all alright? Well, y'all sit there and think about that now. When we look at Saul was a hearer of the word, he didn't do it. And what happened with Saul? He was killed. Eve was a hearer of the word, but didn't do it. And what happened? She disobeyed and she died. And people say, you need to sit back and look around. That went to the Lord. Calm down over there, listen. You might want to hear all that stuff, listen. 2 Chronicles 25 and 1. And it's examples of numerous other people who was a hearer of word and not do it. Achan in Joshua chapter 7, they were told not to touch of the accursed thing. He did it anyway. It cost him his life. And his family's life. Cost him his life. How long y'all gonna sit back and look at it? You got examples of people in this word who heard the word and didn't do the word. and it cost them their life. How long y'all gonna sit there and look at those errors and walk in that? Some of y'all, let me sit back and think before I read this 2 Chronicles 25. My sister been with me for 4 years. Her husband been with me going on 3. Not going on 2 actually. Brother been with me for about 2 years. Lee too. Though brother a little bit more, I talked to him a little bit more than Lee did. Nicole been with me for about 1.5 years. Mouse been about 1 year. Brittany coming up on 2 years. A lot of y'all, and the people that I mentioned, a lot of y'all done heard a lot of words, done got in a lot of information. So you would think that I would think you would be a little bit more mature spiritually than let's say Delta or Langston, because they ain't been with us that long. But in some areas, y'all are not as mature as you should be. In some areas, you all right. In some areas, you not. That's just being real and that's just being honest. And don't you know that ought to be shameful? That you should be shamed. There's certain areas that you know you should be further along in. I shouldn't even have to tell you that. It shouldn't even bother you if I did tell you that, because you should already be looking at, I should be a little further along with this right here than I am. And if you get upset if I say that to you, or you just hear me say that in the general, then that shows you're not actually assessing yourself. I will say Mouse acknowledged that to me a while back. She said I felt like I regressed, but obviously I wasn't as far along as I thought I was. So y'all have to sit back and look at that. Yeah, it's not no, in 2 years you ought to be here, or a year you ought to be here. But when you look at the volume of information that you get to hear, that means you got more opportunity to see the perfect will and way of Yah and actually know what's required of you to know what to do. When you actually have someone who is put in the spirit of wisdom and understanding to do the work of the service of the sanctuary, and you're supposed to be looking to them that have rule over you and following their faith and their behavior and the end of it, then yeah, in certain areas, yeah, you should be. If you've been doing, the reason why, because it's somebody that was mentioned to me about my sister, but I don't know the man specifically, but say that man been sitting up in that congregation for 8 years and has had no growth. Now how could you sit back and do something for 8 years and you don't see no growth? This is why I'm telling y'all this. Because it's real easy to get comfortable in 4-5 year path and you still in the same place you were and you just doing just enough not to get kicked out. You don't see how dangerous that is? Y'all hear me? That's very dangerous. 2 Chronicles 25:1. Amaziah was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Jehoram of Jerusalem. He did that which was right in the sight of Yah, but not with a perfect heart. So what y'all think that means by he did stuff that was right in Yah's eyesight, but his heart wasn't perfect? What y'all think that means? What it means is, and we're going to look at it in a minute, he kept some commandments, but he wasn't complete. Hold what you got. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 14. See, because that's what perfect means. It means to be complete. See, some of y'all do the stuff that's right in the sight of y'all. Some of y'all don't stop wearing pants. Some of y'all don't eat pork anymore. Some of y'all, you keep the Sabbath now, you keep some feast days. But your heart still ain't perfect because you still go after your lust. You still do stuff you ain't got no business. You still fool with people you shouldn't fool with. You still do things you shouldn't do. When the man of God tell you not to do something, you go do it anyway. Or you sit there and fight and make an excuse to do what you want to do anyway. See, that's what it come in. You'll do what's right in his eyesight, but your heart's not complete with it. You actually haven't been, like he said, my sheep In my hand I give them eternal life, because I and my Father are one. He that sanctified and he that sanctified all are one, for which call he not ashamed to call them brethren, because he said, thy saints are in thy hand. So if the saints are in his hand, that means they one with him. When you one with him, that means you perfect with him, you complete in him. You still not seeking to try to do you. At the same time calling yourself keeping the commandment. Because see, some of y'all think keeping Sabbath and feast days and not eating swine, you think you straight. But your heart's not right with God. You're not steadfast in his covenant. 2 Timothy 3 and 14. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. And from a child thou hast known the Kodesh scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith which is in the Messiah Yahshua. All scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of God may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good work. So that means he knew the law, but see, he knew it was gained for doctrine, for teaching, and for correction, and to instruct you on what is right before God, that you could be made perfect. So you see, that's where you coming in at. Y'all doing some stuff that's right before y'all, but your heart's not perfect. You know why your heart's not perfect? Because you haven't laid aside the superfluity of naughtiness, and you haven't received it with meekness, the engrafted word which is able to save your soul. See, you have been a hearer of the word, but not a doer of the word. So you actually have picked and choose when you're going to obey. Which is actually showing your heart's not perfect with God, because you actually don't trust or believe in God. See, over time, as the Lord began to show you things, your trust in God could be made better. But as we done read to y'all so many times, as the Lord has testified to some of y'all faces, there's some of y'all here that believe not. He said, because the Lord knows those that believe and who didn't believe. He knows those that were his and those who were not. He already knows. He already knows. God forbid that there are any one of you that believe not. But we believe in his word. It's got to be somebody. Wouldn't you say? Now niggas quiet. Wouldn't y'all say? If y'all believe the word, because it was 70 men walking with him beside the 12. And it says so. And they said some of them started walking with him. When he told them, they said that was a hard saying. He said there's some of y'all here that believe not, and some of them start walking with him. That means out of all of us that's here right now that's a part of this congregation, that means it's somebody amongst us that don't actually believe. If we believe what it does say. If we believe what it does say. So a lot of times y'all look at stuff and y'all think I be saying stuff just to be saying. I say stuff because I believe what this book says. That just comes down to it. Verse 3 of 2 Chronicles 25. Now it came to pass when the kingdom was established to him that he slew his servants and had killed the kings of his father. But he slew not, but slew and that had killed the king his father. But he slew not their children. But did as it is written in the law of the book of Moses, where Yah commanded, saying, the father shall not die for the children, neither shall the children die for the fathers, but every man shall die for his own sin. So he kept the law like that. He said, okay, these people conspired and killed my daddy, so I killed the ones who did. I ain't killed their kids because the law said I can't kill them. Right? Well, let's see what Amaziah did then. Moreover, Amaziah gathered Judah together and made them captains over thousands and captains over hundreds according to the house of their fathers throughout all Judah and Benjamin, and he numbered them from 20 years old and above, and found them 300,000 choice men able to go forth to war, that could handle spear and shield. He hired also 100,000 mighty men of valor out of Israel for 100 talents of silver. But there came a man of God to him, saying, O king, let not the army of Israel go with thee, for Yah is not with Israel, to wit, with all the children of Ephraim. So you know what he told him? Don't you go up there, because you got some niggas with you, and God ain't with them niggas. So don't go up there. Let's see what happened. But if thou wilt go, do it. Be strong for the battle. God shall make thee fall before the enemy. For God hath power to help and to cast down. Ain't that something? And you know, I warned my old lady about this just last night. Something just simple about it last night. Thank the Lord. He told her, God said, don't go and do that. Because he's not with these people. He said, but if you go do it, just know you gonna die, nigga. Listen to him again. Verse 7. But there came a man of God to him, saying, O king, let not the army of Israel go with thee, for Yah is not with Israel, to wit, with all the children of Ephraim. But if thou wilt go, do it. Be strong for the battle. God shall make thee fall before the enemy. For God hath power to help and to cast down. And I told her something just like that last night. Go ahead and do it and crash and burn. Now you can listen and avoid it and not do it, but go ahead and do it so you can crash and burn. That's exactly what I told. And that's what the Lord just told King Amaziah. He told him, go do it. Be strong. But you gonna fall, nigga. But you gonna fall. Because you've been told not to do that. So you know what's in that part? This here? Matthew 26 and 41. Let's see what this is. Matthew 26 and 41. Show you an example of something. Then we're going to see what King Amaziah said behind when it did. I thank the Lord. We might not work how I want to work. We might do it another time. I was going to show you to obey them that got rule over you, that they might do it with joy, that they might not be grieved because they got to give account. But we're not going to get that direction tonight. Maybe another time. I thank the Lord. Matthew 26 and 41. Make it 40. And he came unto the disciples and found them asleep, and saith unto Peter, what? Could you not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. Hold on. Proverbs chapter 4. See, he gave him something of the spirit. He told him, well, God said don't do that, you're going to perish. He said, but if you do it, you're going to perish. So now which one you going to follow? You going to follow your spirit, you going to follow spirit, you going to follow the flesh. You're going to do what God said do, or you're going to do what you want to do. Ain't that what he been put in front of? Proverbs chapter 4 I want. Let me see if that's what I want. Let me see if that's what I want. That ain't what I want. I always quote it, don't remember where it's at. Let me see if I can find where it's at. You know, he told you in the book of Proverbs to guard something. What was that he told you to guard? Who knows what that is, what he told you to guard? To guard your heart. And why he told you to guard your heart, Pierre? Out of it are the issues of life. Y'all know what that means? Y'all don't know what that means? That means watch and pray, lest you enter into temptation. Because the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Yeah, out of the heart. Yeah, it was Proverbs chapter 4. Verse 23. My mind ain't too bad. I know it was in there. He said, what did it say now? Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. So that means you got to keep your mind. I mean, you got to guard your heart. You know what I'm saying? It was an outcast song back in the day. He said, nigga, you got to guard your grill. Y'all ever been in a fist fight? I bet you put your hands up over your face so they couldn't hit you in your mouth. Y'all hear me? But guard your grill. Well, you better guard your mind. Listen what he say. Put away from thee the froward. Put away from thee a froward mouth and perverse lips put far from thee. You know, froward means rebelliously contrary. Let thy eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. Turn not to the right hand, nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil. This is what this man is telling this man. This is what the man of God is telling King Amaziah. This is what the Lord is telling y'all. This man just sat back and told you, ponder the path of thy feet. Let all thy ways be established. Let's see how your ways will be established. 2 Chronicles chapter 20. Keep that Proverbs chapter 4, because I got a feeling I might come back around there too. And we still on the 2 Chronicles chapter 25. And Deuteronomy 33. I ain't even got to what I wanted out of Deuteronomy 33 yet. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But I thank the Lord. He give us a word that's needed. 2 Chronicles chapter 20, verse 20. 2 Chronicles 20 and 20. Listen to what he tells you. And when they rose early in the morning and went forth into the wilderness of Tekoa, as they went forth, Jehoshaphat stood and said, Hear me, O Judah, and ye inhabitants of Jerusalem. Believe in Yah your God, so ye shall be established. Believe his prophets, so ye shall prosper. That man just sat back and said, believe his prophets. That means believe his preachers, who he's put knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in for the service of the work of the sanctuary. Now we're going to sit back and look at Amaziah and see, did he believe his prophet, or did he go after his flesh because he didn't guard his heart with all diligence, and he had that flower of that rebellious mouth, or that rebellious heart, to go after his own ways. Huh? You know what I'm saying? Sit and think about it now. Sit and think about what you doing and the way you going. Because your life on the line. This man said you need to ponder the path of your feet that your ways will be established. Let's look at Matthew chapter 7 about verse 19. How is your feet going to be established? Your ways going to be established. So y'all don't ponder the path of your feet. You don't ponder you need to remove yourself from evil. You don't ponder that. Matthew chapter 7 about verse 19. Make it 17. 16 even better. Make 18 is good. 17 is good. Even so, every good tree bring forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bring forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bring not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that do the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? Then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Now, if you haven't pondered your feet to remove your feet from evil, that man going to tell you to get away from it. Because you didn't watch and pray, that you wouldn't, because all temptation is, we're going to look in James chapter 1 verse 12 about it. Temptation just means that you being tried. Just because your flesh is being engaged and you being tried, you actually give your will over unto it. Because he said, ponder the path of your feet and remove your feet from evil. Guard your heart with all diligence, because out of it are the issues of life. Now he told you to put away from you the foul mouth and perverse lips, which goes right back to what we read in James chapter 1 verse 21, laying aside all superfluity and naughtiness, right? I guess no one wants to respond. Come on now. Verse 24. Therefore, whosoever hear these sayings of mine and do them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. And when the rain descended and the floods came and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And everyone that hear these sayings of mine and do them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended and the floods came and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. That's just what this man of God just told Amaziah, right? If you listen to my words, you'll be built, because God got power to help. He said, if you obey these sayings of mine, you like a man build his house on the rock. You won't be moved. But if you decide to go do it anyway, you like a man who built his house on the sand. When that wind comes, you gonna fall, nigga. James 1:12. Y'all gonna see how that go together. See, he told you in Psalms 127 about verse 1. He said, if the builders build, if they don't build by Yah, they build in vain. See, y'all can go look on Jesus for true freedom. Build upon a rock. When we talking about this, you will not be established unless you build up on the word. You will not be established unless you build upon the word. That's why he said we build up. We'll look at it. I thank the Lord. Stuff that be coming to mind. Stuff be flowing. Y'all know what? Y'all heart must be on the floor. That man must have took his sword and put it. But we ain't swinging this sword in vain. We're swinging this sword that a man might save his soul. That's all. We just swinging that a man might be saying, you get hit, let the sword fall where it may. I thank the Lord for it. That's all. We gotta sit down. We gotta get this thing perfect, man. We don't put aside all that other stuff, man. We don't went on to perfection. How many of y'all want to be perfect? Don't nobody want? I'll tell you who want to be perfect. That's what it's about. That's why we here. That's why we do this. Y'all think I just like, you know what? Let me just get up every Wednesday and Friday night and Saturday afternoon. You think I just do that just to do it? Come on now. Guess what? I got to be made perfect. My soul got to be saved. Guess what? Y'all will sit back and look at it. I can still grow. I can still mature. I can still get better in this thing. I ain't never comfortable. I know some of y'all think, shoot, he already got it. He's straight. I don't think like that. That man said he had to do it to the end. The same shall be saved. That means I got to keep standing till I leave here or till he get back here. Paul said, I fought the good fight of faith. I done got my crown. Now I done fought. I done stood. I guarded my heart. I pounded the path of my feet. I stood. You know what I'm talking about? We got to keep standing. We standing on the wall. Ain't going nowhere. Somebody got to make us. Somebody got to stand in the gap. Cry out to the people. Y'all don't hear me though. James chapter 1 verse 12. Matter of fact, back me up about verse 5. I work my way down. Listen to what he said. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that gives to all men liberally, and upbraid not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavers is like a wave of the sea driven in the wind and tossed. For let not that man think he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. We about to see how unstable Amaziah is in a minute. See, some of y'all unstable, you double-minded. See, you want to be spiritual, but you want to be carnal. You want the word, but you want heaven. You want the Lord to do something for you, but you don't trust him. You ain't going to get nothing. Verse 12, same chapter. Epistle of James, chapter 1. Blessed is the man that endure temptation. For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. That's why he told you to guard your heart now. He said, guard the path of your feet. And he said, remove your feet from evil. He said that every man is tempted when he's drawn away of his own lust and enticed. That when lust hath conceived, it bring forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bring forth death. Do not err, my beloved brethren. See, we love you, never tell y'all that. Don't you err from that. Because that lust, that desire, go back to 2 Chronicles 25. That's what he was telling you in Proverbs chapter 4, wasn't it? By guarding your heart. And that's what he's telling you. Wait a minute, am I talking to myself? I guess so. And that's what he's telling you. If he's telling you to guard your heart, out of the issues of life come out of it, and the Lord tells you to watch and pray because the spirit is willing but the flesh is weak. Hold on. Galatians 5 and 17. Now was somebody in the grocery store? You gotta beat your phone. I don't want to hear that stuff. You alright? I don't want to hear that stuff. I put that thing on mute. Because everybody else can't hear. I don't want nobody texting me talking about they can't hear going crazy. I know you alright, Jerome. Come on. Verse 16. Galatians chapter 5. This I say then, walk in the spirit, you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusts against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. These are contrary the one to the other, so that you cannot do the things that you would. If you be led of the Spirit, you are not under the law. So you see what he's sitting there telling you? This is the same thing that's actually being presented between Amaziah. Is he going to go with the Spirit and obey God's word, or he going to go with his flesh and do what he wants? See, because the flesh and the Spirit, they contrary one to another. Which one are you going to allow to dictate what you do? Which one is going to dominate your thoughts? We done already looked at 2 Corinthians 10 so many times to bring every thought into the obedience of the Messiah. To bring it into captivity. Just because a thought pops in your head, y'all got to learn to rein that stuff in. But y'all react off of it and move off of it. I can think about 4 of y'all right now. I ain't gonna call your name. I'm itching to do it, but the Lord said don't call your name. Because I want to call your name. I can think of 4 of y'all right now. That if somebody tell y'all something, and you already know you wrong and you don't want to hear it, you niggas kick and scream hard. I would call 4 of y'all out right now. And I would dare you to call me a lie. I would dare you to call me a lie. But the Lord said give you a pass, because I want to do it. I'm going to give you a pass. Any of y'all going to be willing to admit you do it? Who going to be willing to admit? Well, I know you need to tell me something. It ain't just got to be me. Somebody tell you something, I know I be wrong, boy, I kick, scream, and fight, boy. How many of y'all going to be willing? Who be willing to admit it right now? Who will confess it and be honest before all right now? Don't really let them know who's speaking, just so they can know who's being honest. Who else said that? Call who else? That's you, Jerome. Brittany, you might as well say it out loud. Don't text it to me. Say it and confess it for all of them. Don't send it to me. You know what I'm saying? Let's sit back and yeah. You know how dangerous that is. And it's some more of y'all, but you just don't want to open your mouth. But you know how dangerous that is. I'm going to show y'all what that is. Hold on. I'm going to show y'all what that is. James chapter 4. I'm going to show y'all what that is. This is why you can't lay aside the superfluity and naughtiness. This is why you can't be made pure. I'm going to show y'all what that is. Matter of fact, before we do that, go to Daniel chapter 4. Same thing going to happen with Amaziah. I thank the Lord. We rolling. Give me about 20 more minutes. Maybe 30. What in good great blue blazes? And nobody asked you to do all that right there, little buddy. Daniel chapter 4. Verse 34. Make it 31. It says, while the word was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven saying, O King Nebuchadnezzar, to thee it is spoken, the kingdom is departed from thee, and they shall be drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field. They shall make thee to eat grass as oxen. 7 times shall pass over thee, until thou know that the Most High rule in the kingdom of men, and give it to whomsoever he will. The same hour was the thing fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar, and he was driven from men, and did eat grass as oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till his hairs were grown like eagle's feathers, and his nails like birds' claws. You know what he ended up doing to Nebuchadnezzar? You know what he telling you he did to him? He humbled him. He broke him down. He broke him down. You're going to see why he got broke. Exactly. You're going to see why we're going to what I'm talking about. At the end of days, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lift up my eyes to heaven, and my understanding returned unto me. And I blessed the Most High. And I praise and honor him that lives forever, whose dominion is an everlasting dominion. And his kingdom is from generation to generation. Everlasting dominion. From generation to generation. Y'all got to sit back and look at it now. This man just sat back and said, the kingdom you had that I gave you, I'm going to take it from you. And I'm going to make you eat grass, nigga. This man was the king of the whole earth, ran the whole earth. He sat back and told him, I'm going to make you eat grass. I'm going to make you eat grass. And you say, and all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing. He do according to his will in the army of heaven. And among the inhabitants of the earth, none can stay his hand or say unto him, what do thou? That was a lot of y'all problem. Can't none of y'all stop the Lord from doing what he want to do, and then man, one of y'all gonna sit back and walk around here and tell this man what he doing. Lord, what you doing? How many of y'all have actually sat back and asked this man what he doing? Hey, I'm telling you that. Watch yourself. At the same time, my reason returned unto me for the glory of my kingdom, my honor and my brightness returned unto me. So you know I can actually take the whole thing and show you this about the Lord, but not tonight. He said, the glory of my kingdom, my honor and brightness returned unto me, and my counselors and my lords sought unto me. And I was established in my kingdom, and excellent majesty was added unto me. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and extol, honor the King of heaven, all whose works are truth, and his ways are judgment. And those that walk in pride, he is able to abase. I guess I'll go ahead and show it to you, since I looked at it. What y'all think this means? He said, at the same time, my reason returned unto me. For the glory of my kingdom and my honor and my brightness returned. And my counselors and my Lord, they sought me, and I was established into my kingdom, and excellent majesty was added unto me. Matter of fact, we're not going to do it right now. I'm not going to do it right now. We're going to wait. We're going to wait. But you know what the man just said? He said, he know if you walk in pride, he able to break you down. Did this man say, he that exalts himself shall be abased, but he that humbleth himself shall be exalted? Now come on around here to James chapter 4. Y'all sit back and look at it. That's pride y'all got. Don't you know, we done dealt with this before, about pride come before destruction. See that pride, I'm telling you what pride is. Can't nobody tell me nothing. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. You gonna know that you going to hell. Because the man told you to believe his prophets that you may be established. So if you don't believe his preachers, that means you don't believe him. Ain't no way in the world you gonna make it. That means you your own God. I'm telling you, man, that pride is sincere. And it all goes back to what we started at in Deuteronomy 33. It said Moses was the meekest man upon earth. See, if you would have looked at those who had rule over you and followed their faith, you would see what happened. See, Moses was counted as a man faithful in all his house because of his humility. Yahshua told you in Matthew chapter 11, he said, look, learn of me, for I am meek and lowly. I'm humble. Now, all the stuff we've been teaching you about this man dying, and all the things that we done taught you about this Lord, y'all didn't learn or see the humility that you were taught. Now, how this man humbled himself? Well, hold on, I'll deal with it. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. What I do that for? Where we going at? James chapter 4. I thank the Lord. Probably about verse 7. Let me get around that too. I'm finna get ready to let y'all go. I ain't finna hold y'all much longer. It's 9:30. I ain't finna hold y'all much longer. James 4 and 5. Make it 4 and 4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God. Don't you know when y'all keep fooling up with all these sinners and you still want to be close to them and you be posting stuff to impress sinners and you be seeking out sinners' adulation, you a friend of the world? That means you against God. That means God say, I'm going to repay you to your face. I'm going to kill you dead where you stand. I don't think they be realizing how serious that is, little muffin. Call this, bro. You think they realize how serious that is? I don't think they do either. I think they think I just be saying stuff just because I want to be mean and nasty. I really do. Because niggas fight with the same stuff too much. It just don't make no sense. Just don't make no sense. Alright, y'all. Alright, y'all, let's just put me off. Let's check it out, though. I don't think sometimes y'all realize how serious this thing is when I tell y'all stuff. I think y'all just think I be saying stuff just to be mean or to be funny. But But I know the direction you're going to head. I know where you're going to end up at. That's just like somebody, you ask somebody for directions and you tell them, yeah, go this way, this way. You know what the end result of that trip going to be. Because you done rode that road before. You've been sitting back and have learned of the most humble man that ever walked the face of this earth. And you still got pride in your heart. That's bad forbidden. Y'all keep on being friends with the world and just know God gonna pay you straight back to your face. He said, I will pay them that hate me straight to their face. Keep on being friends with the world, see what it gets you. He said, do you think that the scripture saith in vain that the spirit that dwell in us lust to envy? But he give more grace, wherefore he said, God resist the proud, but give grace unto the humble. Submit yourselves therefore to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. That's what y'all ain't realizing. That's the humility. Submit to the word. When you still got that pride, and you still wrestling, and you still fighting, it's because you have not submitted yourself wholly to the word. You do those things that are right in God's eyesight, but not with a perfect heart. Y'all hear me? He said, draw nigh to God, and he will draw nigh unto you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. He said, how else could a young man cleanse his way by taking heed according to thy word? You want your heart to be purified, you got to make a new one. Cast away from you all your transgressions which you transgress, that iniquity will not be your ruin, and make you a new heart and a new spirit. For why will you die, O house of Israel? Did you not know that every time y'all post something, y'all really be showing where your heart at and where your desire be laying at? Do you know everything that you think about, that's where your desire lay at? See, you niggas talk a good one. But how many of y'all gonna live a good one? Because that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Come on back around here to Philippians chapter 2. Then we come back to 2 Chronicles 25 so we can depart. Then we'll go look at Matthew 11. Since I mentioned it, we'll go look at it. We went a little longer than I started, a little later than I wanted to. But Little Muffin had to deal with the repairman. 2 and 5. Philippians 2 and 5. Let this mind be in you, which was also the Messiah Yahshua, who being in the form of God thought it not robbery to be equal with God, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men. And being found in the fashion as a man, he humbled himself, and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. Wherefore God also hath highly exalted him, and given him a name which is above every name. See, that's why the Son was able to be exalted. Not only did he humble himself to die, but he humbled himself to the word. Because in Galatians chapter 4 it said that, even though he is the ruler of all, he was subject to ordinances. Even though he differed nothing from a servant, he was under tutors and governors until the time appointed. See, so not only did he humble himself to die, but he humbled himself to obey. You already heard that in Hebrews 5. He learned obedience by the things that he suffered. So that means he was able to humble himself to obey. That's why he said, believe Yah, your God, and believe his prophets that you should be established. That means that you will humble yourself. That means you look into those who have rule over you and their faith and their behavior, knowing the reward that they will receive. Because you're looking at them. Hold on. Second Thessalonians, I believe. Second Thessalonians. Something came to my mind. Second Thessalonians. Or is it First Thessalonians? Let me make sure what it is all I want. Second Thessalonians. Let me see. Chapter 1. Let me see if it's what I want. Let me see if that's what I want. Let me see if that's what I want. Because I'm trying to sit here and remember. But Paul sat back and told these people, you've seen what manner of man we were before you. Actually, it's 1 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 3. Make it 2. Oh, 1:1 is even cool. It's cool. 1 Thessalonians 1:1. Y'all all right? Y'all good? Okay. Paul and Silvanus and Timotheus unto the synagogue of the Thessalonians, which is in God the Father and the Lord Yahshua the Messiah. Grace be unto you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Yahshua the Messiah. We give thanks to God always for you all, making mention of you in our prayers. I'm going to tell y'all something else too. I know Chad did this the other day, but he didn't know. Even though he's not a member of the congregation, but I deal with him like that. Ain't no one of y'all never ever got to ask me to pray for y'all. How could I sit back and say that I'm watching over your soul and teaching you the word and you got to ask me to pray for you? Y'all would know that I would make mention of your prayers without y'all actually asking me to do that, right? Do you not know that says a lot about somebody who teaching you the word if you got to ask them to pray for you and they're like, all right, I wasn't praying with you before because you didn't ask. I actually prayed. And pretty much I believe everybody on here who I know by name. If I know your name, Teresa included, Jerome included, I pray for all of y'all every day, 3 times a day. You ain't never got to ask me that. You ain't never got to ask me that. Now whether the Lord move, pray the Lord, whether the Lord move on my behalf for your sake, that's on him. But there's no way in the world I could be watching over your soul, or I know you come around here and hear the word, and I don't pray for you, period. And you would have to ask me to do it. Like I say, when Chad did it, okay, I could understand that he ain't actually a part of the congregation, but at the same time, I deal with you, I speak to you too regularly. There's no way in the world I wouldn't do it. You never got to ask. Never, not one time. It's already been done. Some of y'all that ask, I'm like, sure, I already do that. Because ain't no way in the world I can sit here and say I work for the Lord and don't do that. The Lord himself paid for his own disciples. Now how am I sit here and say I watch over your soul and feed you the word, but I don't pray for you? That makes no sense whatsoever. But guess what though? There's a lot of wicked niggas out here taught themselves teaching the word, don't pray for nobody. Don't pray for the people they deal with on a regular basis. Wicked bastard. Verse 2 again. We give thanks to God always for you all, making mention of you in our prayers. Remember without ceasing your work of faith and labor of love and patience of hope in our Lord Yahshua the Messiah, the Son of God our Father, and our Father, knowing, brethren, beloved, your election of God. For our gospel came not unto you in word only. So guess what? My preaching ain't came to y'all in word only, but also in power, and in the Ruach HaKodesh, in much assurance, as you know what manner of men we are among you for your sake. And you became followers of us and of the Lord, having received the word in much affliction with joy of the Ruach HaKodesh, so that you were ensamples to all those that believed in Macedonia and Achaia. That was all sit back and look at. You supposed to have, especially those that are here and are around me, you supposed to have assurance knowing what manner of man I am before you. That's why if you say certain things, and that's not, man, I'm going to be insulted. That means you around me, you don't know what manner of man that I am. You don't know the example that's being set, that you might actually look at me and follow that because I got rule over you, and sit back and look at my faith and follow that. 2 Chronicles 25. Let's get that done so we get out of here. Don't keep it too long. Where we start back. I'm going to read verse 7 one more time. I want it to resonate in your brain. Actually, I want to start at verse 6. Remember now, he got a whole bunch of soldiers, right? He hired also 100,000 mighty men of value out of Israel for 100 talents of silver. But there came a man of God to him, saying, O king, let not the army of Israel go with thee, for Yah's not with Israel, to wit, with all the children of Ephraim. But if thou wilt go, do it. Be strong for the battle. God shall make thee fall before the enemy. For God hath power to help and to cast down. And Amaziah said to the man of God, but what shall we do for the 100 talents which I have given to the army of Israel? And the man of God answered, Yah is able to give thee much more than this. That's all he cared about with the money. Call a nigga, what about the money? That's how some of y'all look at stuff. What about the money? All y'all all look at is, we can take it not just with money. You feel like you've invested in this sinful behavior. You invested in these sinful people that you dealt with in your lifetime, whether it be family, friends, you know what I'm saying? Acquaintances, whatever the case may be, and you feel like, but what I'm supposed to get back out of that because I put something into that? He said, man, the Lord can give you something better than that. You just let it go. That's the same way y'all sit back and look at it. You sit back, man, I ain't gonna pay no tithe. Man, I ain't finna send no money for no feed day. Man, I ain't finna do this here. But then you sit back looking at that little bit you trying to hold on to. The man just said, man, that man able to give you much more than that. But you don't look at it that way because you actually don't trust him. You don't believe him because you're not keeping his covenant. You're not keeping his commandment. So you know he's not gonna have no mercy on you. Exactly. But we already read it. He said, if you believe Yah your God and you believe his prophets, you shall be established and you'll prosper. So it's not just with sitting back looking at you not wanting to come up off no money. It's about you not looking at, because your obedience and your faith is not where it is, you actually know that God is not going to perform the covenant as he promised. Because God is a man of his word. He said, God is not a man that he should lie, nor the son of man that he should repent. He said, shall he spoke it, shall he not do it? He said, the strength of Israel is not a man that he should lie. He ain't lie. If this man say he keep mercy with thousands of them that love him and keep his commandments, and he keep covenant with them that love him and keep his commandments, you ought to believe that. I believe it. I believed it before he showed it to me. It was reinforced when he showed it to me. That as long as I keep standing, this man is faithful. That's why he said a steward must be found faithful. Verse 10, then Amaziah separated them to wit, the army that was come to him out of Ephraim to go home again. Wherefore their anger was greatly kindled against Judah, and they returned home in great anger. And Amaziah strengthened himself and led forth his people and went to the valley of Salt and smote the children of Seir 10,000. And another 10,000 left alive did the children of Judah carry away captive and brought them upon the top of the rock and cast them down from the top of the rock, that they were all broken in pieces. But the soldiers of the army which Amaziah sent back, that they should not go with him to battle, fell upon the cities of Judah from Samaria even to Beth-horon, and smote 3,000 of them and took much more. Now it came to pass that after that Amaziah was come from the slaughter of the Edomites, that he brought the gods of the children of Seir and set them up to be his gods, and bowed down himself before them and burned incense unto them. Wherefore the anger of Yah was kindled against Amaziah, and he sent unto him a prophet, which said unto him, why hast thou sat after the gods of the people, which could not deliver their own people out of thine hand? And it came to pass, as he talked with him, that the king said unto him, art thou made of the king's counsel? Forbear, why should thou be smitten? Then the prophet forbore and said, I know that God hath determined to destroy thee, because thou hast done this, and hast not hearkened unto my counsel. See, that's why he said you to obey them that got rule over you. Because see, you have been there messed around in your pride. See, that's why he said his heart wasn't perfect with God. Amaziah was proud. Man, I done smashed these people. Now I'm going to serve their gods. And when he was called on, he said, nigga, who you here coming to straight? Are you the one to come tell me what to do? You the one to give me a recommended course of action? Nigga, get out of here before I hit you, nigga. See, some of y'all won't put your hands on me, but you do it with your words. Or even worse, with your thoughts. And guess what? After a while, I ain't gonna say nothing to you, because I'm no God determined to destroy you. I know that it's his determination to destroy you. Because pride go before destruction. We don't look at this with Amaziah before, just in a different way. Any of y'all remember that? I know some of y'all probably don't. It was a while ago. Listen what he said though. Then Amaziah, king of Judah, took advice and sent to Joash, the son of Joab, the son of Jehu, the king of Israel, saying, come, let us see one another in the face. And Joash, king of Israel, sent to Amaziah, king of Judah, saying, the thistle that was in Lebanon sent to the cedar that was in Lebanon, saying, give thy daughter to my son to wife. There passed by a wild beast that was in Lebanon and trode down the thistle. Thou say, lo, thou hast smitten the Edomites, and thy heart lift thee up to boast. Abide thou at home. Why should thou meddle to thy hurt? that thou shalt fall, and even thou and Judah with thee. But Amaziah would not hear, for it came of God, that he might deliver them into the hand of their enemies, because they sought after the gods of Edom. See, come on back around here to Philippians chapter 3. See, you see what it was. See, he said, now he trying to warn Amaziah, don't you go around there. You're going to be destroyed. Why you going to meddle with this to your hurt? That's why I was telling y'all, sometimes y'all be meddling with people to your own hurt, and it's going to be for your destruction when he lets you go through it. That's why he told you, come out from among them and be ye separate. He say, hey, evil communications corrupt good manners. He was trying to tell them, don't meddle with it. It's going to take you down. That's what I just asked for. Now, you know what I just asked for a little more? Let me sit back and look at it now. There you go. Appreciate it. 3 and 17. Mine went blank for a minute, just, you know. That's old age, I guess. Philippians 3 and 17. Brethren, be followers together of me, and mark them which walk, so as you have us for an ensample. See, Amaziah had already been marked as being contrary. For many walk of whom I told you often, I tell you even weeping, that they are the enemies of the cross of the Messiah, whose end is destruction, who God is their belly, whose glory is in their shame, who mind earthly things. That was Amaziah's problem. His God was in his belly. He mind earthly things. His heart was lifted up in his pride, and God had to abase him. Same thing you seen with Nebuchadnezzar. See, that pride is a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous thing. 1 Peter 5 and verse 5. We're going to get ready to let you go. After that, Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17. Lord! You got to watch that pride now. You sit back and look at it. The Lord telling you, I'm telling you, they were talking already about this, and I mean the Lord coming back to reinforce exactly what he already told you last night. He said, don't meddle with it till you're hurt. It's going to be for your destruction. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Sometimes we don't see me sit back and looking at the Lord already see this stuff. He already know how it's going to play out. He see me trying to spare you. He already telling you, leave that alone. But you be like this here, I'm going to do it anyway. 5 and 5, 1 Peter. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. But for God resists the proud, and give grace to the humble. Humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. Matthew chapter 11 and verse 28. 27 is even good. I'll get around that in a minute. All this is dealing with, we looking at is, remember them that have rule over you, which have spoken you the word of God, whose faith follow. Following the end of their behavior. See, those that actually follow the word of God and follow their behavior, you'll get the reward. See, a lot of y'all don't want to follow that because you are your own God. You really only respect, make it 25, you really only respect your own authority. Because you think you're smart, you think you know everything, you don't know you actually stupid. Just like he said in Revelation chapter 3, you think that you see, but you blind. He said, I recommend you get eyesalt for me to anoint your eyes that you might see. You think you clothed, but you naked. I would counsel you to come holler at me for some white raiment. And where that coming in at is you think you got it, but you ain't got it. At that time, Yahshua answered and said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and have revealed them unto babes. You know what that means when he said you hid these things from the wise and prudent, but you showed them to babies? You know what he's saying? He hid it from the proud, gave it to the humble. And that means there has to be some manner of humility in y'all heart. It got to be in there somewhere. Why else would he reveal these things to you? Why else would he give you a man with knowledge and wisdom and understanding in the work of the service of the sanctuary? Even so, Father, for it seemed good in thy sight. So it seemed good for God to let you know this. All things are delivered unto me of my Father, and no man know the Son but the Father, neither know any man the Father save the Son, and he to whomsoever the Son will reveal him. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. That man just sat back and told you. How about you just come learn of me? If you learned of me, you would have learned humility. See, it's something that Paul said in 1 Corinthians chapter 9 as well. He said, I keep my body under subjection. Y'all have to really learn the discipline of self-control. And this thing would be a lot easier. But y'all lack discipline and you lack control. Because you calm. You react off your first feeling. You react off the first thought come in your mind. Y'all don't even sit back and slow down. Why am I being told this? I talk to them already about it all the time. The book said to be wise as serpent, as harmless as doves. When you out here in this world, man, because see, I know how she is. She calls herself not wanting to be jaded and look for the bad and everything. But it's not looking for the bad and everything. It's called having wisdom. You got to think like a sinner, but don't move like one. That way you can't be caught by Satan's devices because you won't be ignorant of them, as Paul said. See, when you actually think, that's why he told you to be wise as a serpent. Because he told you that the serpent had more subtlety than any beast that was in the field. So you have to sit back and look at, what is this nigga objective? What is this nigga cause? Because people be having motives. Now, obviously, you shouldn't sit back and think about that with one another. You're supposed to be brothers and sisters and family. But when you out here dealing with these sisters, you're supposed to sit back and look at, matter of fact, I'll give you an example. My old lady sometimes gets nauseous and she regurgitates. She's got a weak stomach. You know what it is. Some of y'all, how many of y'all got a weak stomach? Hey, no. Yeah, ain't no big deal. You know, some people, you know what I'm talking about? Hey, niggas smell something wrong. Hey, man, I'm checking everything. You know what I'm talking about? It be like that sometimes. Ain't nothing wrong with it. That ain't no big deal. That ain't no issue. But, see, what she had messed up at is she been done revealed too much information to the women on her job about who she dating or maybe what she doing. And these people actually really don't care. They looking for information and a weakness and a mind and a rhyme and a reason to come attack you or to try to find some manner of fault with you. It's not that they're actually concerned. People be on fact-finding missions. Now, I know some people, you can run across some people and they meet somebody, they ask them 1,000,001 questions. I'm the type of nigga, you ask me all the questions, the first thing that comes to my mind is, you work for the feds or something, nigga? Asking me all these questions, nigga, what's wrong with you? But I know some people actually live like, that's how you get to know somebody. I ain't one of them people. Don't be asking me all them questions, man. Because I'll tell you real quick, I'll shut you down real quick. That ain't none of your business. That don't pertain to you. Don't even worry about it. Be asking me all, because the first thing that'll come out of my mouth is, nigga, is you the feds, nigga? Because the only people I know ask all them questions is the police. You got a badge, nigga? You got a wall? What's up with all the questions? You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing that came to my mind. What's up with all the questions? But because she regurgitated, she said the women on her job came and brought her a pregnancy test. Because in their mind, you got to understand, they sinners. They can't keep themselves. So of course they're not going to think that she or I could keep ourselves. Now she was a little offended with how I would have handled that. When they would have popped up with them pregnancy tests here, I would have looked the nigga dead in the face and don't play with me like that. I don't play like that. And that would have been the end of it. They would have heard the tone of my voice and the look of my eye, and they would have known I better not play with her like that. That's the first time I said, don't play with me like that. Don't try me like that. I ain't gonna tell them to do none of that. I ain't getting into all that. Don't play with me like that. That's the end of it. Don't play with me like that. I don't play like that. That's the end of it. Because if I told you one time, I I ain't committing fornication. That's what I meant. And when I tell you, don't play with me like that, that's the end of it. I have no need to explain myself to you. I'm not going to go back and forth with you. She said, one of the women say, if you really pregnant, he ought to go to hell. Because these people don't believe you can keep yourself, or I can keep myself, because they can't keep themselves. But the only reason why they can come at you like that, because you wasn't wise as a serpent. You wasn't sitting back looking at these sinners. There's a reason why they asking me all these questions. There's a reason why they fishing for the information. When a sinner come to you, they ain't coming to you for no reason. They after something. Now you got to be wise enough just to peep the game and see what the link read and let a nigga show his hand. Then you can play your cards and know how to roll where you be harmless as a dog. You got to be like that. See, I thank the Lord I learned that in the street. So coming from the street and dealing with the word, it's the same concept. Because I know niggas full of crap. And you can't trust no sinner. I wouldn't care who they were. They got an objective. Their objective is to get you to fall. Sometimes the Lord had people as a thorn in your side just to see if you gonna stand. Remember how he told them in the book of Joshua, I'm gonna drive you people out of the land, I'm gonna leave them in there to prove you, see if you keep these commandments or not. Now y'all keep on fooling with him, he gonna have people right there always gonna be a thorn in your side. You know the best way to get rid of a thorn, get some tweezers, pull it out, throw it away. I ain't going back through that no more. I ain't fooling with that no more. You have to look at stuff like that. Some people know. I can see niggas in the street, man, niggas don't be asking me all those questions, man. Plus, men don't really operate like that. But niggas might be fishing, throw stuff out there. They know they ain't gonna get nothing out of me, man. They're not gonna get nothing out of me, man, because it ain't none of your business. I already know there's a reason. I ain't falling for it. I don't go for the banana in the tailpipe. Matthew 5:17. Men ain't get me with that one, no. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's something that she'll learn with experience. When you ain't really been dealing with people like that, you ain't gonna be on guard for that. I said, man, ain't nothing wrong with it. She has an idealistic mind. She rather look for the good and stuff. It's not that you looking for the evil. It's that you gotta guard your heart, gotta be on point. Cause no matter how you looking at the world ain't like that. No matter how you looking at people, they not like that. Some people's motives are pure. Most of them ain't though. And once you profess and let them know you walking this way right here, I'm telling you they fishing. So I'm telling all y'all right now before I read this Matthew 5:17. If you got people from your past, you need to shut the door on them. Your family members, I'm telling you, my sister just told me today, she said it hit her mind this morning. Because he said Pastor asked them why certain people why they left, and somebody was standing where they was still would have left, and she said it hit her mind this morning. The reason why she had to leave, because a man who she dealt with for a long time, who she loved, that was dealt with 10 years, always gonna be in her face. She said I wouldn't have cut him off. I wouldn't have cut ties with him. Say, but coming up here, I can cut saying, you know, and like she say, praise the Lord. Lord will how he will. He work it how he work it. He do it how he wanted to be done. But I all kind of knew that myself too. She wouldn't have been able to cut him off if she would have stayed there. It would have been to her detriment to her soul. She know I can't fool with this nigga. See, y'all think y'all can still fool with certain people and it be straight. It don't matter, family and all. This ain't just dealing with people you used to date, family and all, friends and all. Man, you might have to cut these people off. Y'all don't be willing to do that. The Lord be setting stuff up for you to cut you off from people, and you still want to be with them. And they're going to take you down. Remember what he said, don't meddle with this till you're hurt. He said, don't go back and do it now because he ain't with him. He said, but if you go and fall, nigga. Go and fall. Y'all gotta weigh that out and consider it. Think not that I come to destroy the law of the prophets. I come not to destroy, but to fulfill. For truly I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall it no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, you shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. Praise ye Yah for Yahshua HaMashiach. Y'all understood all this stuff is evil.